I mean, I'm really glad I did it. Like, I don't want to work on it.
It's like it's not in there. Is that it? Nothing for resume.
We have one of your postcards on our fridge.
I know, good.
From Finland.
Oh, good.
I've had to be out of town because I had to go to a
I
funeral.
know. Like I was gone for 4 days over the weekend.
Oh, man, that's great.
We're not coming till May though. 'Cause we
I can't believe you
plan,
conceptualized all this in about
the
2
trip
days.
around, the weather, and you know, with the training, the drawing
Yeah.
teacher
Well, he had
wants
done
us to
research
sit out and
about
draw.
what, like the
Oh, I was
serpent
gonna say.
mounds in this area, and that was I think where he got his inspiration. So
I wonder where that.
then that whole idea.
I thought it was a little bit more obscure than it was, or than it is.
Oh, look at this. You get in here and it's a big twisty tail.
I like that it's tied to place. It's maybe-
Hey,
Yeah.
Linda.
And most
Go
of
on
his
through and meet me
are
here,
like,
guys.
he did ones in France that was wine bottles.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Some of them were abstract, some were.
What I'm doing is I treat it a little bit like a drawing. And so I'm smoothing the lines, but I'm adding certain kinds of texture and look to it. Since the lines are tapered, all the sticks are tapered, it allows you to approximate the marks that you'd make with a pencil. So when you strike with the paper with one weight and finish off with another, you kind of have a little tapered line. And it has a kind of exciting look to it. So the sticks are tapered, so they have a, if you organize them rightly, they tend to have a sense of motion implied in the surface, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. It's almost like making a canvas and then drawing on it. So ahead of me, people are working to get the kind of the surface up to speed. I'm working on trying to elucidate the outer surface, and I have two folks helping me inside here. They're trying to work on the inner surface to try to smooth it out, and it's more like a little bit more like a nest than it is like a drawing. Although we're trying for a kind of line logic, so we're having all the sticks being struck in one direction and finish off in another, so that we can kind of get the sense that the inside is moving in a quieter eddy than the outside is. I'm using different line weights. I kind of look at them and I say, oh, this is a certain line. It could go in a certain place. Like I've got this little stroke going here, but up in here I've got these two lines that are going the wrong direction. So if I could cover those a little bit, I'm gonna further enhance the illusion that this thing is moving along in one direction. Put some smaller pieces over it. Down on the ground here, we want to neaten our base line up so that it looks like that it rises out of the real world in an easy way, that you don't really even think about it. You just feel like it's kind of lifted off the earth here somehow or the other. And so rather than using a series of hard lines around the base where it might look like there's these muscles or something like this that sets the work down hard because you have a hard line, I'm going to dive into the base like this, and I'm going to put this little looping line down there, which has a sense of lifting the whole thing up and making it look like it's not really sitting on the ground very heavy at all. And then when we have all these uprights in here, that's our basic structural pieces, I try to hide those so that people are not that concerned about structure and can more accept the illusion of movement. So a lot of time is spent in trying to obscure the basic structural pieces. I guess I'm doing right here by putting some sticks across that they're down inside there. I just don't want you to notice them. And you notice that we're not having a lot of you don't see a lot of cut-ins, so we're tucking a lot of the cuts we're making back inside the work so that it makes kind of a smooth exterior so that you don't really, your eye is not really interrupted. And I'm driving that up inside there. I'm getting some structural value out of that stick, and then also get a bit of this white line here that is good for the look of the surface. So sometimes I'll put a nice Xing line on so that I'm going to X across this one so that it looks a little more, that was a little more vitality. That's in my mind. Maybe it doesn't, but it looks like it sweeps up and X's across here. And good. So already that's looking a little bit better. And then I'll move over somewhere else and then I'll move back to that. So I keep moving along a little bit so that I don't ruin one piece while I'm trying to fix another. Try to bring it all up at one time. This is a cottonwood. We've got mainly willow in here. But cottonwood is okay. Can be a bit brittle. Both of them are water plants. So I also want to hide the space down here. I want to see my uprights.
One more.
So it's mostly cottonwood and willow, is that?
That's what's here, yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's a few maple, some other, maybe a couple other varieties. Can't help in this area but to get a few mulberry trees in anything.
Yeah.
A few inner city lanthus, a lanthus tree. Heartbreaker there. That thing is already dead, but still managed to go in. But slowly but surely, each stick counts a little bit, and you're able to fill in and build a kind of texture that has a reality. We're in the business of building things that look like natural phenomena.
Yeah.
They don't look exactly man-made, but you know they must be. Well, you lose most of your illusion on a sculpture of any sort where it touches the real world, whether it be the baseline where it comes out or where it touches the sky. The scale is a huge issue for sculptures that are successful. Like they can be overly large, but they need to at least be as large enough to hold their own in a particular space. So in that sense, we thought 14, 15 feet might be big enough for this because it's a long, thin piece. It's based on having where you had these Indian mounds, and some of them are the serpent mounds from these early peoples that were called the Fort Ancients. Not the ancient forts, but they were called the Fort Ancient people. They were before 1600, and they built lots of big effigy mounds. And so these things, I guess, were imagined to be seen from the sky or something. And at least one of them in the Ohio Valley is a snake serpent mound that's about 1,000 feet long. So this is, if it's not a serpent, it's serpentine. And the idea that this is the head up here, a very stylized set of jaws, kind of seen from above, kind of a meandering set of curves that carry the viewer through, and then finally a big. The tail is basically a spiraling inward kind of tail, and so that's the third feature. So we really have three kind of features in the piece, and it really makes little difference whether it really is a serpent mound. The main thing is whether it's got presence from a distance, it's got a lot of variation, the things that make people want to come over and look in it. We're going to tease them with these openings so they can see them from the street. Primarily you look in from your car initially, and so then you'll be able to come over and walk down the sidewalk, and maybe you say, oh, I could just step in there for a minute.
Yeah.
So a lot of times if something's too far afield, you think, oh, I could go over there, but would I?
Yeah.
So we're trying to get something that's provocative enough and alluring enough so that people might take a minute and go and look inside it and see what it's like and see if it would, is worthy. We want their judgment call about how interesting it is personally to them, You don't want to elicit us, because we're casting an illusion. And so you don't want to, through your illusion, elicit a lot of negative feelings. You want to elicit really positive feelings. So this is in the form of a question too, because like effigy has a bad rap in a way, because you can think of Centauri and all these different African effigies that they hold up and spook you with. And so if we connected with the word effigy with this thing, is that really a bad thing, or could we get away with it? If this snake had some kind of symbolic religious value to these peoples, is that bad or good? Is connecting anything we do with First Peoples too trite, or is it good? Is there an honesty that's based in this idea that these were the early woodlands people that lived in this? Is that good or is that bad? So we don't have to connect it up, but could we enhance the piece by connecting it, to something ancient, forebears? There's a certain feeling in society right now that people live more honestly. In primitive times, I doubt that's true, but anyway, there's a kind of a feeling that they looked after the land, but they were just less of them. So if they did this very thing, it had less impact. If everybody went out and cut this many trees this morning, there wouldn't be any trees. So, it's just an impact difference. So I'm thinking about all those things, and particularly the words that would describe it, That's a good idea, I like, because they bring the animals and so forth down to their most basic form. And I tried drawing these bird heads, like, really carefully, and they really did capture the animal in an absolute, just really slight difference in bending the nose just a little bit. And mine look a little bit more like, I don't know, miscegenation, and less like a bird, it looked like this is a bird animal person. And there's
I'll be
Still open room, but no problem.
Well, yeah, I think you can because the scaffolding is wedged in between the everything. You can't move
Maybe
it
if
at
we
all.
have someone that can push on these, like,
So basically we need to get the scaffolding out of here anyway.
I thought we could just cut it out. Maybe I'll try pushing it that way. It is in there.
I think it's wedged in here and then it's wedged in there.
Can we like push it?
I think we tried that. It's really wedged in here. I think we're gonna have to remove both these scaffoldings before we get rid of this wood. It may just become part of the piece, but
This is all types of scaffolding. So I think that's the not an issue. I think we can use the scaffolding.
out?
Yeah.
Oh man!
We have the bottom half to get out still.
Whoa!
I think that's the easy part. Put up to the board.
I need to do it for my pattern out here. Yeah, no, it looks good. Looks like it goes up here. Like sweeps around and comes on up here. That's the way it'll all
You
look
double
good.
checking and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm sick to death.
It's gotta look
Thank
wow.
you. They said it's between ball games, so I don't know how the ball games, the basketball schedule works. So anytime between 5:30 and 7:30.
I'm just going this way.
Oh man, you all did a great job in here.
This is impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could just get stacked on the edge over here. We don't go there. And you get the other, however many are there are, and they're out of there.
Like airbrushed on too, not like.
Beanie did.
It's creepy. I can't get my hair that big. I can't tan. I don't understand people that can.
The orange is
I'm
kind
like,
of a
if you want
giveaway,
me
I
to be
think.
dramatic, I can be dramatic.
I can't be wasted at 5 in the afternoon. I have self-respect.
What do I say?
I feel like I'd be a very bad cast member. I think I would just get so nuts. I would just walk out of the house. I'd be like, no, this is crazy. I don't handle well with people. I've never been around people tearing up rooms. I don't think I would handle it well. Just, I can't do fights.
Alright, well, I'm gonna leave.
There's two things you can do. One is if you get a super long stick, right now there's plenty of room to
You take your husband like multiple
but as time
times,
goes
lock him
on,
out of
there's
the
less
house,
and less room,
out of
so
the
you
car,
make
and then
two
you make
pieces
him
out of that,
dance.
like this, and then you're able to stab this piece.
Oh, that's so
And
funny.
sometimes you
And
can
the
stab
thing
it
is,
far
you think-
beyond your
you
ability
think,
to
like,
reach.
she would always unlock the
So
door
if you
after
have
he
something
danced.
that
So
won't
like,
stay down,
he knew if he did,
sometimes
she
you
would
can
unlock the door.
stab
It
it
wasn't
up
like
in
she
there
got,
and then
like,
push it here where you are,
Like, I would always
force
bring
it
keys
to
with
go
me.
back and in, you know. Then you can take your very
She did swim in a
top
parking lot once, too.
and you can work your top down in the
No
midst.
way. But then
Go
he
in the
starts
right
laughing
direction.
when he does
Yep.
it.
If you look back and find out all your lines are super parallel,
Hey, they
the
want
best
money
thing to
on
do
that,
is to
so
mix them a little bit.
I'd
So
say that's fair.
if you X your lines a little bit, they look a little more.
You tormented
Now,
me,
the
but
other
in the
thing
end,
is,
it got me
of course,
some
it's
cash.
easier to start by pulling the butt rather than trying to stab the top. That's a given. And then, like Xing, you know, means really, like if you have that, if you go over it like that, this line here, it looks a little more interesting. So, you know, to the degree that, and then if you can make it look like you don't start and stop at the same place, even if you have to. So you could work on this wall. Yeah, because so in this case, even though the majority of the wall is going that way, there's going to be some come out of here and turn and go that way.
Okay.
And then somehow these are going to turn, just somehow they got to go the other way, so we're going to have to turn them out of here and go that way. So that the pivot is right under that window there.
I know.
Now you'd be a good street lever.
Now I can build like a nice little.
Little cabana. Be on one of these.
I'll get a ticket for vagrancy, but you know.
But they'll like it so much that they'll forgive the ticket.
No, forgive me. I can be like the crazy bird lady. I can pretend to be a bird.
I like
Yeah, I like to take my jackets and like hold them out and just run around in circles. It's tons of fun.
Now look at it.
So I can just pretend to be a bird. I always did want to fly. Not that pretending to be a bird is going to help with that.
You can just say, you can't give a bird a ticket.
And then they'll take me to a mental hospital. Oh man.
Just make sure they got good food.
Court order. I forget that.
This one. Is that a cross? Okay, cross brace of some sort, kind of leave that one in a little bit more.
Hi. What's your name?
I'm Lana.
Okay.
I'm Ann's TA.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Next year, so I need to take one of each at least.
Yeah.
And I want to take a printmaking class, a painting class, and a metals class. Because painting and printmaking are one concentration for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, couldn't find a painting class. Like everyone that was on my
You didn't see our TV
it's
18 thing
offered,
last
so
night,
I
did you?
scrolled down to
Oh, they came and
every single
interviewed
A,
Patrick
even
yesterday. It was on
100
TV.
level, none. All that was offered for painting one, and I've already taken that.
That's good.
Are you doing finishing work?
Yeah, kind of. I was building the bottom, the baseline, and then with the colored branches, I'm decorating and then covering the bones. So that's what I'm doing.
No, I gotta go back and look at it.
Yeah, it's starting to look better, isn't it? You all have done a great job today. This thing looks 100 times better than when we started.
Oh, you're fine. Just go ahead.
Oops, sorry.
That'd be good. Yeah. Monumentous event, the last one. Oh,
I was gonna walk around the side here.
This is the last one.
yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't know about that. But, okay, so let's see if we can sneak it up in through here somewhere. Butt end first.
Make sure I don't whack her.
Yeah, in here would be good. Excellent. And then I'll just pull it out. Okay.
I got you window hopping.
Did our blue tarp, did it disappear?
Yes, he ended up taking some debris away with it.
Oh yeah, okay.
And if you want to set debris, if you don't want it on the sidewalk, you can set it here in the mulch bed and I'll pick it up in the morning. Because I'll bring that tarp. Because he ended up cleaning it off.
Yeah, now those can hang out a little bit. They don't really matter.
I just want to make sure it's there.
That's
Just
pretty
say
good.
Brenda like.
Yeah, just
I
like
think
that.
I tamed it, and I'm gonna grab those
No,
ones.
that's
and I'm gonna-
perfect. We don't want to pull it too much because we need some trim. But I think that looks nice.
I have one of them big chisel ones. Those are awesome.
I still have a couple in my bag, but I think they're probably dried out.
Yeah, they were.
Very big ones, great. Market favorite.
Okay. Ladder's gotta get out. You wanna run around it? I can hand the ladder out to you. Wait, I'll send it out the window.
It is. It is. Yeah, that was last Saturday. Yesterday. I thought we did well. Up front, right?
Yeah, we just taped it.
Yeah. We've been doing like stop motion like every about 10 minutes, so
Yeah, stuff like in here where you can tuck it in.